Hello, Cancer. It's umomgtarot, and this is your someone secretly stalking you. Tarot card reading. We're gonna expose these stalkers. I shouldn't say stalkers. A hard word, eh? People looking into you, people checking up on you, seeing what's going on with you. That's what we're looking at. And we're going to do so with the astrology reading cards. And then we're going to go to a tarot spread and figure out what's going on. So here we go with your first card. Gemini. Okay, Gemini's showing up. The energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. Okay. Gemini energy. Gemini energy stalking. So you know that they're going to be sweet talking and going to mutual friends, or going to, not even mutual friends, people you know, this is like when they add your friend just to see what's going on with you, if, you know, tagging pictures. This is somebody who is persuasive, who will get information by asking questions to people, not directly, you know, being smart, asking some untruths so they can get the truth. Then we got more air energy with Aquarius. The energy is freedom-loving, rebellious, idealistic, and technological. Rebellious? Oh, hell nah. So remember when I said your networks, mutual friends? That's doubled down. We doubled down on that with Aquarius. Because Aquarius rules the house of social network, well, not social network, networking, yes, social networking, sure. Friendships, you know, talking to people from different walks of life, your community, their community. You know, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation type communications. Let me talk to your auntie. Let me talk to your friend of your aunties. You know, let me see what she has to say, because she won't even, you know, she won't suspect a thing. Especially with my smooth Gemini ways. Alright, so then your next card, Taurus. Throw some earth in this. The energy around you shows the abundance of nature. It is rich, earthy, and productive, yet relaxed and slow. So you know how Taurus be, and people say that Tauruses like to eat, they like to have stability, you know, they like to develop things organically. Alright, so Tauruses, they want things to unfold organically. However, there is some type of power struggle when it comes to them. A little stubborn and set in their ways. So when we're talking stalker, we're talking, you know, I want to learn information about you so that I can use that when I'm talking to you. You know, I need to get information and intel so that I can make it look like a coinkydink later. Like there's some magic between us. But again, forcing things organically. What you trying to do, stalker? What are you trying to do? We're going to figure that out with the classic Rider-Waite deck. Since Taurus was in the mix, I picked this deck because we're hovering under Fool's Gold Pyrite. Pyrite's connected to money. Taurus is connected to the second house of income. Boom. That's what we pick. So let us have a look at your spread. First card is the Judgment card. Interesting. Interesting for multiple reasons, but let's keep going. The 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so Judgment card, and I call it the Depression card. I'm totally bummed out card. I need to be alone. Needs to go off into the mountains, like what's his face? How do I forget the guy, Luke Skywalker? Remember how he lived up in the mountains and stuff by himself? In that last episode, which could have been the first, I don't know what episode it was, but he was out here 8 of Cups in. And so this person, Judgment Day, a call for the truth, a call for evaluation type, a wake-up call, and this person's bummed out. So maybe this is their wake-up call for getting out of that type of depression. Then we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so now you're telling me that this person can't shake a cycle. Can't shake a self-sabotaging cycle. Their perspective is not coming up new. You know, Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Swords is supposed to represent new beginnings, and particularly the swords are supposed to present new ways of thinking, a new perspective, but it's in reverse, so it's taking a little longer than normal for this person to reach that new perspective. So this is the first stalker reading that I'm starting to lean towards hey, you need to get over some stuff, you stalker. Maybe you're looking into things because you can't quite get over stuff. Yeah. Oh my god. Then we got the Ten of Swords, which yeah, they need to realize that the most stressful part of this situation is over. And I feel like they have amnesia. Maybe, you went through a stressful situation with this person that's stalking you. Came to a judgment that it was better to go solo. And this person, we're seeing a lot of singular, cards. Like, I'm off on a self-isolation binge. And then we have the Ace, and then we have the 10, which adds down to 1. So we see the soloness of this stalking, which, I work alone. I do stalking so nobody else knows they're doing it. Anyways, they're getting a wake-up call. They're getting a wake-up call that they've been dwelling for too long, that they need to change their perspective, that they're only prolonging the stress of what used to be, because clearly there was an ending to a situation. But I feel like this, with all this swords, we're thinking of somebody who can't stop thinking. They're overthinking, or they can't like break or shake a cycle that is self-sabotaging, if we're being honest here. The Eight of Cups is supposed to be, hey, you're going to spend time by yourself to, reflect. But when it's in reverse, it's like you're taking so long to reflect. Maybe you're not seeing the lesson. Maybe you're not changing your perspective on things. Maybe you're prolonging your stress because of that. Your last card is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm wondering if with the Queen of Pentacles, this person is stalking you. Maybe they lost some money. Maybe they lost their position. Maybe lost their footing financially because of whatever the judgment wake-up call was. Now, maybe you know something about that. Maybe you were part of that wake-up call that sent them off on their own. This could even be like the wake-up call is you got to move out. You're and your parents. Because Gemini is the house of siblings. And Aquarius, house of rebellion. And, moving out on your own seems like, let me move out on my own and then carry stress because of all the finances that are involved that I didn't consider because I was impulsive. And the Queen of Pentacles is she has within her the ability to be independent, the ability to take care of herself and be strong. Emotionally, when it comes to money, very smart, emotional intelligence with money. But when she's in reverse, she's thrown off. She's thrown off her throne. And so her decisions, maybe this person is not making good financial decisions because of, this wake-up call that they need. Whatever went down before, it feels like there's divine energy that's giving them signs that they're not taking about, hey, snap out of this, I feel like this person's like on their own solo journey in their own world, doing their own thing. We got Aquarius energy hovering over here, and that is very unique, like let your freak flag fly type energy. Literally like Lone Ranger, I'm doing my own thing because nobody else gets it. I'm a revolutionary, I'm rebellious, I don't do what other people do type energy. So with this stalking, they're looking into you. But I'm wondering why they're looking into you, because it feels like it's almost like when they look into you, it's opening an old wound, and it's making them repeat cycles, and it's very clear what they need to do to break free of these cycles or move forward. It makes, like, when they look into you, when they stalk you, it adds stress. It stops the end from happening. Like, there's an ending, but then when you open up that old wound and keep stalking, you reopen the pain, the stress part, the thinking part. And I feel like that's not like what they're not getting. That's what they're missing, because we go from the Ace to the 10, so there's a whole completion thing, but there's a whole story that you missed in between. You stalker you, and maybe they can't get through it because they took a physical hit. Whether that was you saying, hey, get out. Whether that was you saying, like, you were part of their routine. You were part of their lifestyle, and now they're missing that, so they're lost because they're on their own. Basically, this person is overthinking, and they're not really seeing their own path for what it is. They're missing the points. they're missing, you know, they're getting that relationship amnesia where they can remember the good times, but they don't realize how stressful the situation was. And they're not quite, you know, receptive to that wake-up call, which is the first part of the reading. You know, the wake-up call is supposed to provide some aid, some healing, some spiritual cleansing. There's some divine energy involved, so it's like, you know, surrendering to whatever you believe, spirit guides, angels, God, you know, whoever, letting the divine take control of the situation. But again, this person just feels like they're off on their own, doing their own process, and is it helping them grow? Maybe slowly though, but like it's almost like, you know, why do you keep going there when it's not serving you? And I feel like maybe that's the lesson that they gotta learn. Is like, this is actually causing you more stress to revisit it, you know? Maybe what you recognize as the queen of your throne, if they're talking about you, they feel like they need to find that type of energy, but they're not realizing that it doesn't have to be you. You don't have to represent that. They could find that energy or realize that through you they've discerned what type of person they want in their life. Right? So there it is. That's your stalkers coming in with some thinking, some critical thinking required, and some learning some lessons type thing required. Because the Judgment card, again, it's associated with Pluto, and Pluto is supposed to mean like rebirth and, you know, learn, like transformation, you know. But it can also, because it's associated with Scorpio, it can also mean obsession. So we need to get that in check, you know. And I don't know if they have it in check yet, but again, a lesson needs to be learned there, and they need some stability. Alright, so there it is. That is your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, share the video, all that jazz. And if you'd like a personal reading, please check out the description link. The description for the link to my website, as well as a link to my Etsy shop where I have all sorts of candles and bath products. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.